everybody. This is William del Pilar, and this is a Red, White, and Rude. And today we are discussing Alyssa Mercante, the former senior editor at Kotaku, and her recent departure from that publication. Let's talk about gaming and indoctrination. And I'm talking to you as parents need to understand gaming is the number one form of indoctrination outside of schools. And you must realize this before it's too late. As gaming industry embraces more progressive and woke narratives, children will be exposed to ideologies that prioritize social justice over traditional storytelling. And when I say social justice, I am talking about social justice themes, storylines. They become woke. There's a new game I'm going to talk about this week as well, Dragon Age the Veil Guard, where it's blatantly in there. However, the problem with this is a shift will lead to a form of ideological indoctrination where the young players are subtly influenced. Again, like Dragon Age Veilguard, you have storylines built around it, but so they're influenced by those values and beliefs promoted in the games. And it shapes their worldviews. And there's no critical engagement. And the gaming environment in and of itself can expose children to this type of toxic behavior and extremist ideologies online. Just so you know a little bit about me and gaming, where I stand. I've been gaming since the 1970s as a child. I know I'm a good looking guy and I look young, but I've been around. 70s with the gaming. I was there for Atari when it first started. I remember my mom dropping me up, not dropping me up. I'd be at Sears as she shopped around. I'd be playing Pong. From there, the Intellivision to the Sega Genesis to the Xbox. And now I'm just a PC player. The last Xbox I owned was a 360. I had a PS5 and the Nintendo. I can't remember what it was called. And I also had the Wii, so I had them all. So I've been gaming for a long while, and I'm not late to the game in terms of this battle in gaming as much as I've watched it afar. And I'm actually a political beast. I've run for office, been elected, got involved in the trenches along that. But I kept watching how political the gaming industry was becoming, how influential. And I will not buy certain games because they are so woke. I remember Far Cry when they went woke. There's other games and other industries and other individuals. It's a very toxic culture. And in fact, I stopped playing online. I never really went online. But right around 2002, big Madden fan. That's what got me to modern gaming, and the hate from both sides. The blacks with their racial terms, the whites with their racial terms. It was just I was like, enough of this. And then there was the cheating. That's another story. So before I go on, actually, let me remind you to like, share, and subscribe to this podcast and our other podcasts. So let's get into this. Alyssa Mercante. That's actually not the best picture of her. She's not a she's an attractive young lady. She's just an ugly person inside. She's a polarizing figure in the gaming world. She's known for her advocacy, as I said, of woke ideology, and she's faced criticism for her aggressive attacks against people who disagree. She's a bully who turns around and plays the victim. So she just left Kotaku after 2 years at Kotaku. And we found out through a tweet here where it says, I'm not sure you guys can see it. Let me try to make it just a little bit bigger. Okay. Work news. After exactly 2 years, I've decided to leave Kotaku in my role as senior editor. I am eternally grateful for Kotaku's editorial team and all that they taught me during my time here. They are some of the best in the business, and I will be forever proud to have shared a masthead with them. They continuously fight to maintain the editorial pillars that make Kotaku great and to hold onto their journalistic integrity in the face of increasing pressure to compromise that. It's been a long few months during which I've learned a lot about myself and my value as both a woman and a writer. This is the right decision for me. I have some things coming down the pike, so keep your eyes peeled. Well, that's a nice little send away, but They continuously fight to maintain the editorial pillars that make Kotaku great. They're woke. If it's woke, they love it. If it's not woke, they don't love it. And she is such a bully. Eventually, she is going to lead wherever she works down the legal path of hell. So we'll see how that does go. So she framed her decision as a personal choice, expressing gratitude towards her editorial team. So many speculate that Mercante was likely fired, but allowed to present her departure as a personal choice to spare Kotaku from her potential backlash and allow her to save face. The logic behind that is people typically don't leave happy or successful positions without significant reasons. The other reason she may have left is because she saw the writing on the wall. She saw potential layoffs coming, and layoffs did come. And some other Kotaku individuals said, I just got laid off. So she may have seen those layoffs coming and decided to leave on her own before getting fired. I don't know, but I tend to agree with the belief you don't leave a position that you love. So maybe there was soap opera drama there. Maybe she saw the writing. Who knows? But she's gone, and leaving what made you famous or infamous in her industry. And to the people out there who don't know who she is, in my industry in fantasy sports, from the 90s until about 2010, my name was a household brand in that industry before I sold my company. So within your industry, you can be very well known. And outside the industry, nobody knows you. So that's not uncommon. She is very well known or very infamous. So it's stated that her decision was influenced by her again personal growth and self awareness, and that does happen. But in her case, we don't think so, based on the fact her online persona has not changed. And she says she's got some things coming down the pike. Well, she did a freelance or got a byline with a Rolling Stones article, and that's still big. Rolling Stones has been sued, they paid out. Their journalism has been quasi journalism at best, and now it's in the toilet. It's a dying magazine, and the owner sold it some years ago. John Steinerwood or something like that. He sold it. John Wemmer, maybe. I can't remember, but I remember his character from the Jamie Lee Curtis and John Travolta film of many decades ago about it. And their big claim to fame was an infamous piece they posted about the Virginia University, and they got sued. And they had to do a lot of payouts for that. It's not a good move. They've been trying to get into the gaming world, I guess, for a little while. I had not even realized they were in gaming until I saw a follower trying to badmouth an influencer named JT Smash. And I'm looking at JT Smash's followers. I can't remember. They're in the thousands, tens of thousands, 10, 20,000. And then the Rolling Stones gaming guy, 1,000 followers. I'm like, yeah, you're kind of calling the guy out, yet you're the nobody and you're attached to a big brand name magazine, which shows their lack of ability to make any headway in the gaming industry. Rumors did have her heading to Sweet Baby Inc., a company that she's previously debated. And Sweet Baby Inc. is a DEI nightmare. They're like the Jesse Jackson and Al Sharptons of the 70s, where they would go there, say, hey, pay us, and we'll say good things or do good things. You don't pay us, we'll make life miserable for you. So that's what Sweet Baby Inc. is. And there is those Sweet Baby Inc.'s logo for those of you not familiar with it. Yeah. And they are based in Montreal, Canada. That's why people thought that she may be going to work with them because I guess she headed there after she gave her big announcement and where she was seen. So again, the company pressures other businesses to adopt the woke practices by leveraging their influence and their strength and resources to promote diversity and inclusion initiatives. Now, Black Myth Wukong, they tried to threaten them. They told them to go take a hike. Blacks, Black Myth Wukong has sold over 20 million units. So it's not like that really hurt them. They have ruined games though. Sweet Baby Inc. has shoved themselves and ruined games, many games. Saints Row, Midnight Suns, Forsaken right here. Let's see, Marvel's Avengers, Alan Wake 2 is struggling to break even. It's going to break even, but they're saying it's taking much longer than what they thought. Redfall and Marvel's Midnight Suns, all those games have been ruined and have not managed to hit the numbers that either thought they could hit or were disappointing sales. So not all of them would I say are bombs as much as they didn't hit the numbers they're supposed to. And such as Alan Wake. I'm not too sure about the rest, but some of them I've heard have tanked. So, and they're currently involved in development of South of Midnight alongside Compulsion Games. That's a Compulsion Games logo. Yeah. So Kim Belair, the CEO of Sweet Baby Inc., she advocates, she pushes it. It makes sense. Sweet Baby Inc., the CEO's going to push this garbage. And that's who she is going to push that garbage. She advocates using pressure on AAA studios and admits to injecting racist wokeness into the industry. And the reason this has become an issue is there, a lot of AAA games are failing. Star Wars Outlaws, Dragon's Age, the Veil Guard. They're trying to show, hey, it's a great AAA game. It's here, 45. You know, they're throwing out numbers which are better than some of the previous numbers of games they had that came out 10 years ago. Compared to the numbers of AAA games today, it's a failure. It's one of these where they may make their money back to break even a couple years from now. AAA games, they usually need to make their money back right away. Again, Black Myth Wukong, 20 million units sold already. Star Wars Outlaw, game that failed, high budget, high cost. They had to license it, so that's even higher there. Only sold 1 million units in its first month. So these studios are struggling. So many in the gaming community view her exit as a potential shift away from divisive figures in journalism. I'll be honest, the re-election of Donald Trump is going to speed that process up. It's going to speed it up dramatically because he has a mandate. The country said we are tired of this wokeness. Tired. Let me see something here. Excuse me. All right, there we go. Had to make a little work there. All right. And, again, Donald Trump has a mandate. Times are changing. And I think what's going to happen, you combine that with the failures of Star Wars Outlaw, Concord by Sony, hundreds of millions down the toilet. Ubisoft has pulled Assassin's Creed Shadows back to kind of redo it a bit. They're starting to wake up because we conservatives are now fighting back and saying, we're not buying that crap. And the problem with these AAA companies is, sure, I love Assassin's Creed, but there's 10 zillion other games to play that aren't woke, that simply give us a good story and good gameplay. So after the shutdown of Kotaku Australia, Mercante expressed solidarity with the affected writers, but condemned those who celebrated the closure. Yet she condemns people for speaking their minds. Critics argue that reflects an agenda where she wants to silence opposing voices while celebrating efforts to shut down dissenting opinions. And that's who and what she is, a hypocrite. She's aggressively mean. She has rhetoric she throws out. She's also a hypocrite, So she would challenge her critics to physical confrontations. And there's this cute little girl. I don't know how little she is. She seems a little petite, named Vera Dark. I don't know, is it Vara, or Vera Dark? But great podcast or YouTuber. Check her out. I feel old. I'm like, hey, old enough to be young enough to be my daughter. She's making a name for herself in this industry, you know. So Mercante was throwing out some sass, being huffy and puffy. She goes, okay, I'll fight you. Mercante says, I'll fight anybody. She goes, okay, I'll fight you. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's stream it. Donate the money to charity. And Mercante, as is typical of bullies behind the computer talking trash, back down. And she actually just the other day she came back and said, the rules, we'll throw down anywhere. No cameras, no nothing. Yeah, well, she doesn't want to see the cameras watching her get her ass beat. Look, a lot of people talk trash on fighting. The quiet ones don't. Vera just sat there and said, I'll fight you. I'm sure when they're going to fight, she's going to make sure somebody trains her up. Bullies like Mercante, that's all they are bullies, trash talkers. So her retreat, Mercante's retreat, led to widespread criticism and legitimate accusations of coward. The shrew is a coward. So, let's go back real quick to how she wants to silence dissenting voices, and let's talk about JT Smash. JT Smash is just he's just a guy in the industry who loves games and started a YouTube channel talking about this, much like what I'm doing with this and other podcasts, and he's gaining a following. And she's going after him. She's taking him to court. He got a great lawyer, Ron Coleman, great conservative lawyer. He's going to destroy her. She's a house of cards built on lies. As I said, plays a victim. She instigates everything, then turns around, plays a victim. And what people like her don't understand is you can threaten a lawyer, you can even do what you're doing, but when the other side gets an actual lawyer who understands the law, it's gonna be a bloodbath. And I expect her lawsuit to eventually be dropped. And maybe that's what happened with Kotaku. They saw this coming. They saw this coming down the road. So if Rolling Stones hired her, they're just gonna create another Virginia college situation. They're gonna pay out down the road eventually. So she wanted to shut down JT's website, which she described as targeted harassment. Yet she's the one who began all this. Additionally, accusations have arisen regarding Mercante spreading misinformation and engaging in doxing against critics. We're coming through a sea of change here with Donald Trump's election. So that type of stuff that you could get away with since the Obama years up until recently is coming to an end. She's becoming a bully at the wrong time. Timing is everything in life. Read a great book by Malcolm Gladwell, The Turning Point, talks about that with success. She should read it. So despite this aggressive stance of her content, she always portrays herself again as a victim of harassment. Gaming community, harass me. Yeah. So anyway, in her claims against JT, she stated that his continual posting about her constituted harassment. So he was posting around her. She's the one who's always posting about everything, and when it's done towards her, all of a sudden it's harassment. And it's a tactic to deflect accountability for her own actions, her own rhetoric. I am under the Green Party, Your Honor. So there has been backlash. There's a CEO, co-founder, CEO of Moon Studios, known for directing the critically acclaimed Ori and the Blind Forest and the sequel, Ori and the Will o Wisp. There's so many games that I've never heard, but he's a semi-big wig in the industry. You know, so I guess what I'm trying to say, he's a prominent figure. I guess he's about artistic integrity, and he's supposedly the future gamer. I'm not trying to downplay him. It's one of those things where in the industry he may be well known, but outside of it, he's not. But anyway, when you're getting CEOs also bad mouthing you, along with other people, you have problems, darling. Darling, pumpkin. Yeah. So the backlash highlights the growing resistance against harmful woke ideologies in the gaming industry. So let's close it out. I just wanted to tell you a little bit about her, who she is, what she is, some of the problems. So many gamers are rallying against the perceived encroachment of wokeism into their space. I'm one of those. I'm jumping out here. I was just talking to my partner today. I said, look, I wanted to go more into the gaming side of the Red, White, and Blue. The Red, White, and Blue is a podcast that deals with pop culture, movies, television, music, and how politics interacts with all of them. But to me, the gaming industry is one of the biggest political battles that nobody really seems to be paying attention to in the political industry. But regardless, Mercante's approach fosters division, no inclusivity, even though that's what all these woke people talk about. They talk inclusivity until you disagree with them. And her departure from Kotaku, that's a big change. It's not like she's a big gamer. I checked her Twitch page. She's got like 1,400 followers. So she's really starting from ground up. She's not looking for another job. She's going to try to be an influencer, YouTuber. So maybe she will get something at Sweet Baby Inc. That she sounds like a perfect fit over there. But at the end of the day, Sweet Baby Ink's going to start losing clients as these clients realize I don't need to make a character with surgical stars of getting breasts cut off. That because that's becoming a whole nightmare now for that industry. A lot of lawsuits going to be coming when you're whacking a young girl's boobs or a young boy's genitals in the name of they they identify as a boy or a girl. Now, real quick, somebody once said it was online. Their parents, they said our little boy wants to be a girl. So before running to the surgical doctors, they sat him down. They dug into him. He wanted to be a girl because he thought his older sister was getting more attention than he was. It's kind of like also online. I want to be a pirate, mama. Okay, whack your leg, put a peg in there. You're good. Take that eye out. Boom, you're good to go, son. It's like the sheer stupidity of what this country has become. It's what it used to be the shining light, the beacon, the city on the hill, whatever the saying is now a joke, a damn freaking joke. So the gaming community is eager for change. And this is a hope that it signals a shift towards more authentic coverage by journalism. She's a journalist. She works for a journalism magazine, gaming magazine. The problem with these gaming magazines is these gaming companies will go and buy advertising. We're going to buy this much advertising, but we really like the great review. Well, we want to keep our integrity. Okay, really? Yeah. I'm sorry, my boss just told me that our budget's been cut. Oh no. That's a great game. My guy just told me it was a great game. So they're hoping that her being let go, maybe that signals a shift towards more authentic coverage, focus on games rather than the controversy surrounding them. So I will keep an eye on this. I want y'all to stay tuned for this and understand this is a fluid situation. This industry is going through some serious changes, turns from behind the scenes. It's kind of like a soap opera, and it is fun to watch, but it's also deadly, silent and deadly. Because that's how I look at it. Nothing but piece of bleak garbage. A lot of these woke gaming companies, and Ubisoft is leading the charge. Sony's right there. Epic. So it's terrible. So before I let you go, everybody, do not forget you can find the show at grumblingsmedia.com. I also have my points on the board, which is sports and politics, and my fired up, which is just straight up conservative talk. For those of you who like conservatism, I am a conservative Latino. I really love throwing that in the face of leftists because I am. And when they go for that racist, bam, I hit them hard. But then again, this election just ended, and Joy Reid and Sunny Huston, they're two black female, very racist, very, very racist bigots, hateful people, because we voted for Trump. Now we're all racist. Everybody's tolerant until we disagree with them. So you can find this podcast and others like it at grumblingsmedia.com, as well as our social media platforms such as YouTube, Rumble, Apple, Spotify. There's one more in there, Apples and Pandora. Do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, my friends, I am William Del Pilar, and this is a Red, White, and Rude.
Hey everybody, this is Big John from Grumblings Media, and I just want to say thank you for watching our content. If you want to support our efforts here at Grumblings Media, just smash the subscribe button right here, totally free, or just go ahead and consume more of our great content. Click either one of these two boxes.